And the one thing about the press, I mean, you don't hear this term very often anymore. But when we were growing up, it was called the fourth estate. Well,
Mhm.
why was it called the fourth estate? Because it was its job, and the press saw its job as overseeing the operations of the other three established estates of the government, the executive, legislative, and judiciary. And so they saw themselves as the fourth estate, that they were there to be the check and balance on power and to let people know what was going on and being able to say, this is what it is. The whole issue, I mean, and I have friends who are journalists and take their oath of being a uh, unbiased journalist very seriously. But it's very difficult because everybody has their own opinions, and no matter what you have, there's always going to be that issue of how much do your opinions affect your reporting. What we're seeing nowadays is where a lot of people are saying that the press is biased one way or the other. This and that us or um about the press where like we were talking about earlier in one of the earlier episodes when you had the one late show comedian who was sanctioned by Disney. Jimmy Kimmel was sanctioned by Disney because of something that he said. That stuff like that isn't new either. That going back around World War II, and then the time that you had yellow journalism, they were calling it, and then the McCarthyism and everything else, where people would write articles and they would be sanctioned or they'd be blasted by other members of the press or the government or companies because companies are always running the press. I mean, it's a business where it's a very serious part, but it is still a business. And so you would have the owners of these various newspapers coming forward and telling their journalists, no, you can't write this. It's only, you know, it's only because of these freedoms that they don't have to worry about, as Rob was saying, being arrested and thrown in jail. Does that mean that
Remember
again?
okay.
No, I was going to say that again doesn't mean, as we've talked about before, that freedom of speech, freedom of expression doesn't mean freedom from the effects of it. But that's always going to be there. That's no matter whatever you say. And it's the one thing that it was drilled into me when I was a watch officer overseas, and especially as a prosecutor. Never make a comment, never do something that you would not expect to see on the front page in the nightly news, you know, being blasted all over everywhere. If you don't want that to happen, then you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. Expect that whatever you're going to say is being out there, like we are right now. By us putting our expressions out there, we know not everybody's going to agree with us. That's part of the open discussion, and we're welcoming that. So,
Right. And